It's not up for debate at Sarasota City Hall. The question isn't if climate change exists. An effort is underway to figure out how to mitigate the impact on the beaches, waterways, and other areas of the city. The skeptics say not all scientists agree. Tonight, Christopher Brantley introduces us to perhaps the preeminent climate scientist alive today, Nobel Peace Prize winner Terry Root.
Good evening. Dr. Root is a climate change scientist. Her focus is on how climate change is affecting bird species. She tells us we're losing species at a rapid pace, and that if something isn't done soon, we could lose more. But it's her vision for the year 2100 that's really startling.
Dancing on stage, it's clear this 40-year scientist and professor loves what she knows, and she loves to teach others what she knows.
Now you can see how we've gone up and up and up and up.
Dr. Terry Root is a Nobel Peace Prize winning climate change scientist and professor. She focuses on how animals and plants are affected by Earth's changing temperatures.
If we hit 2 degrees Celsius or 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit, we could lose 400,000 species.
That is, if Earth's temperature changes only a few degrees above normal, life as we know it could change. Dr. Root's life changed in 2007 during an early morning phone call.
Literally, at 5:30 in the morning, Wayne called me. And I said, "Why in the hell are you calling me at 5:30 in the morning?" I was pissed. And he said, "Well, congratulations." I said, yeah, what for?" And he says, "You guys just won the Nobel Peace Prize."
Root is the you in you guys. And the other guy is former Vice President Al Gore.
People has already been endangered by the climate crisis.
Dr. Root was a lead author on a report for the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change. She was chosen after she reviewed an earlier version that seemed to have a serious omission.
It was a trivial review. I just went through and there was not one mention of wild animals or wild plants in the entire report. So I just went back and I just said, well, you blew it.
Her review caught the attention of former Vice President Al Gore. Gore used part of those reviews for help in making his Oscar-winning 2006 documentary, An Inconvenient Truth. Gore later accepted the Nobel Peace Prize alongside Dr. Root and a team of scientists. The review, and later the documentary, are based on a theory that if Earth continues to warm, the polar caps could melt and water levels across the globe could rise at least 9 feet by the year 2100.
That puts Anna Maria Island, that puts Longboat Key, that puts downtown Sarasota, that puts most of Venice.
Underwater.
Inglewood, that puts all of that underwater.
It's underwater. That's right, it's underwater. And there's not much we can do to stop it.
Dr. Root believes climate change has gone from an environmental concern to a political concern, as some politicians haven't bought into the science.
Climate change is something that's a politically heated topic. It's not something that is without controversy. And a lot of people just don't believe that it exists. They don't believe the climate is warming.
I honestly don't believe that intelligent people who have the facts, I honestly believe that they are lying when they say they don't think that the planet's warming, because it's obvious.
Obvious perhaps to someone with a PhD in biology, but to the rest of us, less obvious. For instance, President Trump has been vocally against the idea of climate change, tweeting on December 28th, "In the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against." He's referencing a 2016 global initiative called the Paris Climate Agreement. It was meant to combat climate change by lowering the use of fossil fuels. But President Trump pulled the U.S. out of the agreement last year, fearing it would have a negative impact on American businesses that use the fossil fuels.
They see it as something that could be potentially made up.
Well, they have been snookered.
To know why Dr. Root is so enthusiastic, we must go back to where it all began for her. As a young scientist, she worked for NASA on the Voyager project, sending the spacecraft to explore the universe until she realized her passion was here at home.
So your look went from the cosmic outward perspective down to what's actually happening here.
And on a continent-wide scale, not on a postage stamp scale.
She believed that changes in temperatures affect animal species. But in 1987, that wasn't a popular opinion.
I had a professor of mine say that he would not sign my dissertation because he didn't believe that temperature was important to species. Now, it seems obvious now, but back then, everybody said competition is what is making species ranges occur.
Dr. Root has been dedicating herself to teaching those around her about the little things we can do to make a difference.
When you walk out of a room, turn off the light. It sounds trivial. If everybody would do that, it would make a huge difference. Stop using incandescent light bulbs. It sounds trivial, but it's not trivial. If everybody stopped using incandescent light bulbs, it would make a huge difference.
Along with changing light bulbs, she says you should lump your errands together to avoid driving your car back and forth across town, limiting the amount of greenhouse gases emitted.
We have got to stop putting greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, or we've got to figure out how to get them out of the atmosphere. And the only way we know how to do that right now is by chlorophyll, by plants.
So, will downtown Sarasota be a boater's paradise by the year 2100? Will Longboat Key and Anna Maria Island be several feet underwater? Well, only time will tell. But if we want to do something to stop it, time is running out.
Now, one of the big things that makes climate change a political topic rather than just an environmental one is because in our daily lives, most of us don't see it. And it's really hard to believe in something you don't see.
Absolutely, Christopher. Thank you very much.